right, these are my power rankings for week 13. So at number 10, I have the 49ers. This really could have been the Bears. I was so between these two. I switched them out a couple times. But at the end of the day, I went with the Niners just because they're Brock Purdy locking in away from obviously being a top 10 team. It's so crazy with all the injuries they've had on defense that they're still so impressive. Like Robert Sala is such a beast. I can't like I wish I knew more about the X's and O's of the Robert Sala defense and like what specifically he does, but you could just tell the impact. It's so clear. Uh, and then I guess my last note is with the Bears. They win weirdly, and I think one of these days, these one score wins won't go their way, and they just don't really pass the eye test. Especially the defense gives me a lot of concerns. But Caleb Williams, in my opinion, has impressed, and like they're a year early, so 8-3 right now is amazing. Next year, right, they should be in a spot where Ben Johnson and Caleb have kind of gelled, and they're ready to actually fight for contention. Number 9, I got the Colts. A lot of people don't even have them on their list this week. I disagree. I think they have too much talent all over to not be a top 10 team, but if they keep looking like how they've been looking, I'll have to drop them off. But I think number 9 is appropriate for how they've been playing. The Ravens at 8. They can't move them up after that win. I mean, it's the Jets. You got to look better than that. But the organization, Lamar, historically, a recent history, they've just been good. And I think they're going to be a scary team to play in the playoffs. A rare year where they're not, going to go 13-4 or something, but they're still good. They're still the Ravens. The Packers at 7. I got them moving up. I mean, on paper, still an incredible team. They won, so yeah, they're good. They're the Packers. I think they have a chance to go higher if they actually hit their potential, but they just have those weird games where they play down to their opponents. So hopefully they can clean that part up. And then 6, I got the Lions. These two teams again, any order. It's just so hard to rank these two. I think they're so interchangeable. But right now, I think the Lions are slightly better. But I don't know. It's so hard to decide. I feel like in a lot of rankings, these two teams are back to back that I've seen. Seahawks at 5. A lot of people have them higher than this, and some people have them lower. I like the Seahawks a lot. I think they're great. I think their roster's great. I think they would obviously, a lot of people would consider them a lot better if Sam Darnold didn't play so poorly 2 weeks ago. But again, you have to think about how close they were to beating the Rams, even with Sam Darnold playing so bad. So like with a Sam Darnold having an average game, even they're an insanely good team. And Jackson Smith and Jigba has been amazing for me in fantasy. So let's hope they keep it up. 4, I have the Eagles. And I actually kind of think this might be too low, but I have to drop them after that 21-point comeback by the Cowboys. That was embarrassing. They have to fix something. 3, I have the Broncos. Move them up. I clearly haven't been respecting this team enough. Yeah, they're good. I still have my doubts, but I think they're probably better than all the teams ahead of them. I could maybe switch them with the Eagles or Seahawks in the 3rd spot, but this is where I have them for now because 2 losses is 2 losses. The Patriots at 2. The first team to hit 10 wins, mostly because they haven't had a bye yet. Just amazing what Mike Vrabel has done. I think 2 is appropriate. They move up a spot, and yeah, the AFC is theirs to lose. I think they have it in control. And then the Rams at 1. I think everyone agrees with this one. Not much to be said. They're just clearly the best team on offense, one of the best teams on defense. Kind of like a wrecking ball right now. So for my power rankings, my Super Bowl contenders, I kind of want to move the Seahawks up to Super Bowl contenders, but it's hard for me after watching the Rams-Seahawks game. I'm kind of worried that the Rams defense is just a bad matchup for them. So Super Bowl contenders, I think Rams, Patriots, Broncos, Eagles should be the favorites. I think the Seahawks to the Colts, as you can see in my second tier, are kind of threats to win a couple games. I don't think the Chiefs are going to, in my one and done, I think I have the Chiefs at one and done. I don't think they're going to win a playoff game. I don't know what people are saying that if they make the 7th seed, they're the most dangerous team. Like, I have eyes. They don't look that good. I'm sorry, but I just don't trust them anymore. And the Bills, man, they're so strange. I kind of want to move them up to the playoffs team spot, but just these weird games. I mean, it's just not good to watch. They rely too much on Josh Allen, and he needs more help. Still fighting, Texans, Jaguars, Cowboys, Buccaneers. They're not eliminated. Panthers, right? Definitely one of the Buccaneers or Panthers are going to make the playoffs, but man, they are fallen. And I can't move the Panthers any higher after that game. My goodness, I want so bad to put them up a tier, but man, tough watch. And then yeah, I think the rest is pretty self-explanatory. So here's my picks for this week. Last week I went 2-3, so now I'm way even more worse than a coin flip at 14-16 overall. Not great. Don't listen to my advice, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna fight my way above 500 this year. This is why I'll never gamble, but it is still fun to do. I think Dallas Chiefs will be under 52.5. The Chiefs just have a really slow pace of play. The Cowboys defense has improved. Chiefs games typically teams are not, no one's getting to 30, right? You see so much like 24-20, 27-24. So I just don't see this being that high score in my opinion. Atlanta -2.5 Jets. This is a really low number. I think that Falcons are way better than the Jets. I think they'll win by at least 3. So that's my opinion. That's what I think. Kind of a no-brainer to me. By the way, these were the odds on ESPN on Monday. So that's when I made this. So yeah, I have Seattle -10.5 against the Vikings. I just think they're way better. Yeah, I don't know. JJ's going to have another horrible game. He just doesn't pass the eye test, and I think Darnold's going to feast. I do think the Vikings have a good defense, but I don't know. Even with a score of 17-3, this hits, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's how it ends. Bills -4 against the Steelers. I just think the Steelers are outmatched here. Just a team I'd been suspect on the whole season, even when they were 4-1. Now they're 6-5, so I feel vindicated on that. At least I got something right. And the Bills just had a bad loss. Josh Allen will be pissed. So I think this could even be a blowout, kind of like how the Chargers game was with them. And then I think the Buccaneers-Cardinals one will be over 45.5. This is probably the one I'm most confident about. The Cardinals keep somehow scoring like 23, even after they're down by 2 or 3 possessions. They just kind of keep throwing and throwing and throwing. So this strikes me as another, even if they fall behind, they'll just throw it like 40 times and somehow get 20 points. So I think this one will hit the over. This is probably the one I'm most confident about. But anyway, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments.